I will now take you through how to add comments in Skyward for the end of the trimester. On the screen, you can see I have Skyward open to a second grade teacher at Silver Spring. And I'm going to go into her grade book, and then I will open up the grade sheet. You'll come to the screen here where you get to select the subject. We are going to do English to start. And hopefully this screen looks familiar to you. The greenish color is the standards that were assessed. The white columns are the actual tests that were put in. And then you have this blue column, which is T1 for trimester one. In order to enter comments, you're going to go up to where it says T1 and click on that, and you'll get this pop up here. You'll see that it has the standards listed that are covered by your grade level. And then up at the top, you have add, edit comments for grade period. You will click on that. Once you are in there, you will see that there are two columns for comments. The first one, labeled C1, is for default comments. We have 4 default comments that you can use. The first one is receives an alternative instruction and or assessments. See IEP progress reports. That obviously is going to be used for IEP students. We have takes modified ELD assessments, and then student receives reading intervention. That is for students who would go to the reading specialist or instructional specialist during SOAR. And then another one, just in case, hopefully we're not needing to use this at this point in the year, but if that is the case, you could put in absenteeism hinders performance. Those are the 4 generic comments that you can use for your students. You also have a free form comment box, and you can add a free form comment. You are limited to 300 characters for that, and you can resize the box, but you can just type in, "This student is wonderful." Whatever you would like to do in those free form comments as you've done in the past. You can also do a default comment if you wish. In the default column box, you can select the top, and that will load it for every student. You can see there. I don't want that to go in, so I'm going to clear it. Or you can type something in, and that will load it for every student as well. So once you do that, you can click save, and your comments are in. I would suggest, especially if you're doing free form comments, to save your changes regularly just so you don't time out in Skyward and lose all of your progress there. So I would add one and then save and things like that. So that is how you enter comments for trimester one. Grading students' Portrait of an Eagle competencies is pretty easy as well. We are again back to the teacher's grade book and looking at their grade sheets. And this time, instead of selecting English Language Arts to grade, I'm going to go into Portrait of an Eagle competencies. In Portrait of an Eagle competencies, you can see we now have in these greenish columns the competencies that we will be looking at, and you'll be grading them on. Again, it's pretty straightforward. They're in the same place as the standards were in your other subjects. In the case of entering all the Portrait of an Eagle competencies, once you are into the Portrait of an Eagle grade sheet, you're going to go up to the top and enter scoring mode. At this point, you're going to score students either a 3, 2, or 1. You can see in the grade mark description, you've got meets expectations, progressing towards meeting expectations, and not meeting expectations. So you can go in and just click all of those through. You can also, if you want to, tab through and add scores for students. You can see I did that for the first student on the list, and you can see that it lights up with the coloring of the scoring for that. So again, you can see that what you've entered there, and you can know that there are changes that were made for all of that. So you can go in and do all of that. Pretty simple, should be pretty straightforward. We also have a companion guide for you to score students using the Portrait of an Eagle competencies. This document is a guide for you. It's not something you need to fill out for every student, but it can be used to help you make decisions when it comes to making deciding on their Portrait of an Eagle competencies. You can see here we have the description of the scoring. Student consistently demonstrates the competency, sometimes demonstrates the competency, and does not demonstrate the competency. And we listed out the competencies as well as the a version of the I can statements connected to those. Now, what's going to be helpful for you is going to be the rubric that we have attached to this. And you'll see that you have the competency and then you have the indicator. In the case of acts responsibly, you have the student is honest, respectful, and safe. You're looking at the student makes expected choices and fixes unexpected mistakes, and the student understands his or her wants and needs. So you can use this to score your students going through there. Now, this is a holistic rubric, so you may give a 3, 2, and a 1. That probably averages out to a 2 for responsibility, or the student is really struggling, so you could give them a 1 there if it works out there. You don't need to do any math for this. This is just a guide for you to take a look at as you are going through and scoring students and what you should be looking at their behavior and use of our Portrait of an Eagle competencies.